Hello friends, this is Ryan Hicks of TaughtToProfit.com. Today I want to talk to you about why your input should be less than your output. When I was a kid, I had an Apple IIe computer, and with that computer was so simplistic, and what you had to do was type out programs that you would have in these books. You wanted to do a little text-based game, you had to type it all out, and then the game would play. We're not talking about graphical or any kind of controller, just a text-based game. And it would sometimes take hours to type in that program, and then you'd make mistakes and have to edit and tweak it before it worked properly. It was a lot of input for very little output. And many people have this hard work mentality, which is good. You should work hard. But it's hard work that's not done intelligently. It's not done as effectively and as efficiently as it could be. The example I always give is the man that spends all day long digging a ditch, and the other man who rents a backhoe and does the same job in 30 minutes. But many people today have the wrong mentality, where they do something smart, and they talk about working smarter, not harder, and they do something intelligently, and they get that job done in 30 minutes. It would have taken them all day long by hand, but they stop there. But I'm telling you, don't stop there. If you can dig one ditch in 30 minutes, that takes another man a whole entire day, why not dig 16 or 20? And you'll accomplish what that man does in 16 days, you accomplish in one day. Use the technology, the tools you have available to you to get the most done, the most you could possibly do, so you work smarter and harder. Your intelligent work is done in a way that gets the most possible done in one day. Using my Apple IIe programming example, when I had programs that came on a disk, all I had to do was put the disk in. And for less input, I would get more output. Instead of having to type for hours the program, I could put a disk in that already has the program typed out, and it would work. That's using technology, using every opportunity available to you to get the best results, to have the least amount of input put in to get the most amount of output. Doing things smart and intelligent, working smarter and harder. You don't waste time. You don't talk about a 4-hour work week. You're getting everything possible you can get done each day. Hard work is required. It's something needed, but not dumb and ignorant and foolish work done hard. There are many people who work very hard. I saw a video about these children who work hard taking scrap parts out of computers for gold and other metals that are in these scrap parts, and they spend all day long, 12 to 16-hour days, hunting for metal in the trash heaps. That, my friends, is hard work. Now, they're doing the best they can. I'm not criticizing that. But my point is, when you have the options, when you have opportunities available to you to make your work more efficient and more effective, then do that. Don't be the man out there with a shovel digging the ditch all day long when you can rent the backhoe and dig 16 ditches in one day, or 20 ditches, or more maybe. Use technology, use the things available to you, use other people's efforts as well by hiring employees and assistants to do things that you don't want to be doing or that is not a good use of your time, and get the most done possible. But don't get in this mentality that only hard work is good or only smart work is good and working as little as possible is the idea. No. Or working as hard as possible is only the idea. No. You work both intelligently and hard. Hard, long work is not a bad thing, but it is when you're doing it ineffectively, when you're doing it inefficiently, and you're not doing things the way they should be done or the way they could be done. I'll see people debating on tools that cost them $50 a month that's going to save them 20 hours a month, and they don't even see the foolishness of that. They're going to save 20 hours. For $50, they'll save 20 hours of their time. And they're not willing to spend that money. They're not willing to take the opportunity that's available to them to get more work done in a faster and more effective way. No, I don't want to spend the money. It's $50. What I could do this and that. My friends, you have to value time above money. And you have to understand that your time should be effective and used in a way that brings about the best results, the most amount of results as you can. When I was doing that programming in my Apple IIe to get a game to play, all the work, the hours that were spent to play a game that you only got about 5-10 minutes worth of enjoyment out of, and then it was done. That was too much input for the amount of output I was getting. And too many people are that way. They're the man digging the ditch with a shovel. And he's putting all this input for the little bit of output, the little bit of results he's getting. And if you can save 20 hours of your time for $50, why wouldn't you? That's where you're starting to put in less input, but more output, better results from less input. Doesn't mean you stop there though. This is very important. If you can get those kind of results, what else can you do? Can you double up your efforts then? If you're saving 20 hours, can you use that 20 hours to double your efforts and get more results? Or is there another tool out there that can save you even more time that you can use effectively to bring about even more output for the input you're putting in? Because my friends, we all have the same 24 hours. When we talk about time management, we don't mean that you're managing time, changing time around. We mean how you use your time. You're managing that. You're managing your use of time. And if you're going to work a 12-hour day, why not have it bring the most results, the best results possible? Too often people want to live the lifestyles of the rich and famous, but they don't want to do the things that the rich and famous did to get to where they are. Most people, unless they inherited money, worked hard, long hours, and every opportunity that came their way, they took it to get better and better results. Less input, better results, better output. And they kept doing that until they got to where they are. And now you may see people today who are worth many millions of dollars, many billions of dollars, who don't work as much, and you think, well, I need to do that. They only work 5 hours a day, so why shouldn't I? No, they spent long, hard hours to get to where they are. And many of those people never stop working. They continue to work 8, 10, 12-hour days, 6 days a week, 7 days a week sometimes, because they're constantly getting results. They're constantly improving, and it's never ending. You're consistently getting better and better, and you consistently get more and more success and go from success to success. Not from failure to failure, not from, well, I worked 20 hours last week, I'm going to work 10 hours this week, and next week I'm going to work 5 hours, and then I'm going to work 2.5, and then I'm just going to not work at all. That's most people's mentality, but it's only because you're not getting the results you want to get, so you look negatively toward work, toward the amount of time you spend in your efforts. I've had employees say that being around me makes them more productive, that they feel like they're getting more done each day, even in their own lives, not just with work, but in their own lives. That kind of productivity transfers to other people. It's almost infecting people where they want to do more when they see accomplishment. And in their own lives, when they have achievements, they have successes, even if it's the most minor success, it breeds more success. There is something about doing things and having progress in your life that brings about more progress, more success. But when you don't have that, then you just want to lay back and talk about, I want to work as little as possible. I want to retire. I want to work as few hours a week as possible so I can enjoy life. But yet you won't enjoy life. When you lack accomplishment, you lack achievements, you lack success, you're just going through life, going through the motions, existing only to exist, you're not going to be living life. You're not going to really feel like life is being lived when you don't have achievements and you're not having daily progress, daily success, daily achievement. If you worked 20 hours last week, you should work 40, 50, 60 hours this week, 80 hours next week, maybe 100 hours a week after that. You need to ramp things up. You're going to get nowhere with that downscaling of your work, downscaling of your labor. And if you are able to take advantage of opportunities that come your way that enable you to do the same thing in less time, then just do more. Don't do that thing you can have done more efficiently, but now you do things even more. You ramp that up, you scale that up. The time saved can be put into areas where you can bring about better results. And any opportunities that come your way to make those areas where you can cut time out of that and make it more efficient, you do that. But the end goal is not to work less. The end goal is to be as efficient and as effective as you possibly can, to be working intelligently, not to be doing things foolishly or working hard just to say you worked hard. Because sometimes people just want to talk about, well, I worked 16 hours a day. Great, but you dug a ditch that could have been dug in an hour if you had rented a backhoe, but you weren't doing things in an intelligent way. Now, some of you may say, well, but I don't have a lot of money to rent the backhoe. And this is just an example, obviously. Can you get someone to sponsor it? Can you get someone to pay for it? Maybe someone would pay for the backhoe that you want to rent to get your job done in 1 hour that would have taken you 1 or 2 days. Maybe somebody will pay for that outright if you go dig a ditch for them. You spend 30 minutes digging a ditch for them, they'll pay for the rental if you'll do that. Think outside the box. Think of ways that the opportunity can be paid for. If you can't afford it, don't use that as an excuse. Look at the opportunities. What opportunities are available to you? How can you make that pay for itself? See, the man digging with his shovel, digging the ditch all day long, or having to dig 2 ditches and it takes 2 days that you can do in an hour with a backhoe you rented, somebody might pay for that in order to get you to spend 30 minutes digging a ditch for them. You don't know. There are opportunities available to you that other people may be willing to pay for because you can use that tool to be a benefit to them. So don't think it's beyond you. Don't think, well, I can't afford that. That's too much for me. I just can't do it. Not at this point. Most people are wasting money on all kinds of things, from their food to entertainment choices. If you have cable or satellite TV, you're wasting money. You have money wasted right there that could be used on more productive things. So don't give me this nonsense that you don't have the money. You just don't want to spend the money on things that are more effective. And you value your time less than you do money. Money's more important to you than time. You put money as a priority and not time. When in reality, you should be putting your time as a priority. How can you use your time the most effective way possible? Doing things efficiently and intelligently. My friends, I pray it's been a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.